All right, what is up, everybody? We are back 2 days in a row right here on Marks on Media. What's up? I got a big show planned today. I got my cats are all excited. They're running around. They want attention from daddy. My dog was sleeping until I went live, and now she is awake. Man, having animals is just super fun, super good time. What is up? Yeah, so starting off with just awful news on the day. The first one is the least awful of the news. It's more annoying than anything. So if anybody's been on X or Twitter today, you may have noticed that Captain America: Brave New World has been trending off and on throughout the day. And that's because everybody's been like, "Oh, well, you see, the trailer, the first official trailer is going to drop for it." And they kept like a countdown. This is my Calico. Sorry, she's making her debut on screen a week ago. It was my other cats. Nah, can't go up there. Say hi. Yeah, you're very beautiful. But that was trending for a while with Captain America: Brave New World, and like I said, there was like a countdown. Oh, it's gonna debut at such and such time. Blah 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 blah. And I was keeping abreast of it, and I went to watch it just a little bit ago, and there was nothing. I kept finding like AI trailers. If you look on YouTube, you'll find like the only things that come up are like AI trailers, and I was like, "Damn, dude!" Like, it's a little crazy. But then I check on Twitter. I'm like, oh, it's still trending. What's going on, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. And they're like, oh, they lied. Somebody started the lie, and it like rolled downhill, and it just led to this. There's not actually going to be any trailer. So yay, man. I got all like, I don't care about the movie that much. I was just honestly, I was gonna watch it because I'm like, whatever. I'll talk about it on stream. Nope, that ain't gonna happen. So there you go. But yeah, so if you were looking forward to Captain America: Brave New World, I even put him in the thumbnail because I thought we were gonna talk about it. I made the thumbnail a while ago, and got lied to and tricked out by Twitter. It's the last time I'll trust Twitter, man. I should have just assumed it was going to post on Twitter anyway, because I went there. I was like, I'll just go there right now because I guarantee they're talking about it. So, but nope. Normally they would post it on Twitter if it's been trending long enough. Somebody would either upload it straight to X or post a link. And yeah, so all I see now is people pissed that they were lying about it, or somebody was lying about it. And like I said, it got spread around. So there we are. The other piece of bad news, I wanted to start off. This broke just a little bit ago, so I was like, well, we have to talk about it on stream here. Let's go. This freaking sucks. Shelley Duvall, Robert Altman protege and tormented wife in The Shining, dies at 75. The versatile actress, also memorable in McCabe and Mrs. Miller, Nashville, Popeye, and Three Women, produced TV series for kids as well. There's Shelley Duvall. I personally remember her. I do remember her from Popeye, that Robin Williams Popeye movie. But The Shining is one of my favorite movies of all time, not just horror films, but just favorite films, period. And obviously, Shelley Duvall was fantastic in it. Stanley Kubrick was kind of a Richard to her on set. He like stressed her the hell out, yelled at her all the time, and he was like, "Oh, well, that was to put her on edge, so she acted better in the scenes and whatever." She was a good actress. I think she could have done it without you just like mentally like ripping her a new one, dude. Pretty messed up. Let's see, she had complications from diabetes. That's what took her in her home in Blanco, Texas. Dan Gilroy, her life partner since 1989, told The Hollywood Reporter. So, life partner. So, she's been with this dude for like 40, 30 years, 35-ish years, and they never got married. Alrighty. Anyway, my dear, sweet, wonderful life partner and friend left us too much suffering lately. Now she's free. Fly away, beautiful Shelley, Gilroy said. In November 2016, a disheveled Duvall appeared on an episode of the syndicated talk show Dr. Phil and revealed that she was suffering from mental illness. Quote, I am very sick. I need help, she said. 4 years later, THR's Seth Abramovich visited her for a memorable story. Yeah, she fled Hollywood for Texas in the mid-90s. Don't blame her. And it goes on about her career. Yeah, it really sucks, man. I liked her. Like I said, I remember her from The Shining, but obviously she did a bunch of stuff. She had a long, memorable career. Great actress. And she wasn't a spring chicken, but I don't think she was like she wasn't like super old or anything like that. And even if she was, it's still sad to see somebody that you grew up watching and whatever. So yeah, and diabetes is a bad disease, man. My wife's family, a lot of them have complications from diabetes. Her great grandmother or her great grandmother lost a leg to it. Her grandmother suffered until the day she passed away from it. And her mom and her aunt, and just a ton of members of her family. So her and her sister always get checked every so often for it. And if you think you might be at risk, definitely get checked. Watch your diet, exercise as much as possible. Anything you can do. Yeah, diabetes bad. And the older you get, the worse it gets. But yeah, I wasn't planning on opening that way. Sad, on a sad and somber note. But I had to talk about it. How do you not talk about the passing of Shelley Duvall on an entertainment podcast? So there we go. Or live stream, whatever. Goodness gracious. One of my cats is always getting involved. Now it's the other calico. Let's switch gears here to talk about video games. I just found that out, by the way. Speaking of Twitter, it's because RIP Queen was trending. And I was like, oh no, who died? Unfortunately, Shelley Duvall. But all right. So let's go to that Park Place for this. I haven't read deep into this, so I figured we'd dive into it together, shall we? It's The Witcher multiplayer spin-off game will reportedly feature class-based system. Do they mean class like Dungeons and Dragons type stuff? That's what I'm thinking. One of The Witcher spin-offs that is being developed by Molasses Flood. All right. Will reportedly feature a class-based system. Back in October 2022, CD Projekt Red revealed that it was working on a multiplayer game set in the Witcher universe that was being developed by Molasses Flood. The company announced on X, Sirius is a codename for the game developed by Molasses Flood, set in the Witcher universe and created with support from CDPR. It will differ from our past productions, offering multiplayer gameplay on top of a single player experience, including a campaign with quests and a story. That would honestly be fun. Like I just said, it's codenamed The Witcher series right now, but that's not it. They'll name it something else down the road. But that would be fun because my wife is also a gamer, and she always complains that we don't play enough games together, but I mostly like to play single player games. So does she. Our gaming together is I'll help her beat something. Like we'll trade the controller back and forth. Or if she wants to play multiplayer, she always wants to play Halo. And I'm just kind of, I like Halo, but I'm just kind of, I don't know. I've got other single player stuff I really like to play. But this would be good. I love The Witcher. I'm not very far in Wild Hunt. The thing, if I'm just going to go off on a tiny short tangent here, but I got to a certain point and I saved, and I know I saved because I came back to it later and I was there. And somehow on top of, like, the auto save and the manual save, they all kept piling up, and then my wife had a save, and they kept getting mixed and mingled, and somehow I lost my main save, so I had to go back to an auto save that was, like, way before my manual save, so I'm redoing a bunch of stuff. If anybody knows the game, I killed the griffin, and that ghost at the well, I took care of her, and now I gotta redo all of it. I think I just beat the griffin again. I'm doing some other side stuff, but it's super annoying. But anyway, that's my I just hate that. I hate it's so disorganized, in my opinion. I'm the only one that I know of that complain about this kind of stuff. But when you got multiple people playing the same game and doing saves and whatever, it just I don't know. Regardless, furthermore, CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Kaczynski, Kaczynski. My bad. Uh, I I always have issue reading non like Anglo-Saxon names. That's on me. But he detailed, quote, the game will be set in the Witcher universe, but it differs from our past releases in that it targets a much broader audience. Okay. How narrow was their audience previously? Hold on, let me mute. Gotta mute other devices here. Da, 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 da. Okay. Anyway, back to this. He added, Sirius will provide both single player and multiplayer gameplay. Is that what he means by opening up to a broader audience? Because that one I get. It was revealed back in March 2023 that the game was being reevaluated. I'm seeing if any of this really effing matters. He added, it's better to cut costs early and even restart if needed, then carry on. As a result of this approach, we're experiencing negative results on our other operating activity due to the impairment related to Project Sirius, which was reported 10 days ago. All right, here we go. Here's what I wanted to get to. Kaczynski also shared during a Q&A portion of the earnings call that Sirius is, quote, very different from the big productions we are known for. To stay competitive, we have to keep looking for new ways to extend our franchises. At the same time, we need to be ready to reevaluate our original concepts. If the development work is already underway, on the 20th of March, we announced that we want to create a new framework for Sirius. We also decided to establish an empowerment allowance on Sirius development expenditures. It was a tough decision to make, but we also believe it was the right one. Blah, blah, blah. Now, as reported by Tech4Gamers, a new job description seeking a senior combat designer for the game appears to indicate that the game will feature a class-based system. Specifically under the positions responsibilities section, it states, quote, implement each character type's combat behavior using techniques such as behavior trees, animation graphics, and blueprints. Okay, the description also notes that senior combat designer will work to make our game's combat fun, satisfying, and scalable from the early game to late. It also details that the prospective candidate will take on everything from the high level pitching enemy and weapon types to the sub-second nitty-gritty, placing iframes, damage volumes, damage and hit reaction balancing, etc. Okay, so yeah, this is what I was getting at to begin with. Classes, as in like different types of characters. If anybody watched the god awful show Witcher Blood Origin, you saw in there. I mean, there have been other creatures and fantasy people in other Witcher shows and books and whatever. But there were, I guess the Blood Origin wasn't. I shouldn't have went right there, but either way, I just know that one of the main characters was a dwarf. We've seen dwarves in The Witcher before. There's always other Witchers, or there's humans, there's elves. There's a bunch of creatures throughout the continent. that you could play as. You can play as a mage. I think that's awesome. You can choose what kind of character and what kind of abilities you want to have. Obviously, it's going to help in some areas and hamper you in other areas. Uh, awesome, cool. I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, especially a multiplayer game. Super, super looking forward to it. But yeah, so that's the next Witcher game that is going to be coming out. Ah, taking a quick break here. So basically, if you are watching, before I get into the next story, if you're watching on Rumble, I appreciate you. Definitely go, make sure you follow, and because I post new content all the time. I didn't post my new video today. I don't think. I got to get back on that. Or no, I didn't have a new video today. When the hell did I have a new video? Okay, maybe I am up to date on Rumble. Sorry. Uh, Sometimes I forget because they don't have simul posting anymore. Because there's a lawsuit going on between YouTube and Rumble. But anyway, used to be a lot easier. But Rumble, I keep up to date on. You can follow me on there and keep up with my videos, stay notified, and all that. If you want to follow me on YouTube, I'm on YouTube. I've got a bigger channel on YouTube. I post shorts on there as well as the live streams and the long form videos. I keep more up to date on that just because I have a bigger following on there. So please go follow me. However you follow me, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you keeping up with me. I'm also well, if you're on Rumble and you want to follow me on YouTube, it's youtube.com/ at Marks on Media. If you want to follow me on Rumble, it is rumble.com/ C/ Marks on Media. If you want to follow me on X and Instagram, you can find me at Marks_on_media. Unfortunately, Marks on Media was already taken, so I had to put in the underscores. I'm also on Locals, and I'm on Kick. Just search for Marks on Media. You'll find me. You'll find my community on Locals. You'll find my Kick channel on Kick. If you look for Marks on Media, we have fun. We have a good time. So I will start posting. I don't have any exclusive content on there yet, only because I don't have people following me exclusively on Locals. But if I see I even get one, even if I get just one person joining my Locals and paying for exclusive content, or if you join as a member on YouTube, I will, as a super fan, whatever, I will make sure to post exclusive stuff just for you guys that you can only get behind the paywall. And I'll take suggestions even. If you want watch-alongs, if you want specific reviews of certain things, I'll take up the suggestions. But anyway, I'm a man of the people. At least I try to be. Let's get to this one. This is the most annoying story for the video games I have here. This game, just throw it in the ground, burn it with fire. Rocksteady confirms Suicide Squad killed the Justice League to introduce gender-swapped Mr. Freeze. So, Miss Freeze? Mrs. Freeze? Ms. Freeze? Video game developer Rocksteady confirms that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will introduce a gender-swap version of Mr. Freeze. The official Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League account on X posted, "Ice to meet you, Mrs. Freeze." Yeah, there we go. Season 2 of Suicide Squad game arrives July 11th. Ew. She looks like a school marm or like the lesbian PE teacher. Yikes. Or she looks like who's that? I don't know the actress's name. She was on Glee. Has the short blonde hair. I think she was also the PE teacher or something like that. She always wore a tracksuit. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Mr. Freeze accused of promoting transgenderism. I don't know about that part. I mean, it's a woman, you know, but unless did Mr. Freeze have gender reassignment surgery? Hmm? Is that what it is? Is that going to come out later? Giggity. Rockstar. He's got his twig and berries on ice. You know what I mean? Rocksteady has not provided any more details about the character. In fact, on the game's official website, the latest announcement for the game was on June 12th regarding a patch to introduce emotes and banners to celebrate Pride. You know, because that's what we need in a Suicide Squad game, right? Pride promotion? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm offing superheroes. Yeah, baby. Concept art of the character was leaked to the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit back in May. It was quickly accused of promoting transgender ideology, with user Mangaloyer writing, quote, Rocksteady, the developers of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, transformed Mr. Freeze into a non-binary Karen, they, them. This is wild. Media not displayed. Yeah, they've deleted it. So he added in a subsequent post, I predicted this before the game's release, and the backlash was intense. They perceived femininity and female anatomy as threats to society. Now they've made a character transgender. Take note of Mrs. Freeze's chest. That's not a woman. I mean, yeah, what they did. Yeah, look at Harley Quinn there. Shrinking her, making her less curvy. I mean, that's what they do with all these, right? Because the developers of these games aren't like, you know, real feminine looking females ever. And they have to project themselves and their own feelings and their body image onto these characters. I always love the line they use that no man ever uses about male characters. They're like, no real woman looks like this. I'm like, no, you just hang out with weirdos that just look manly. Like that's the problem. Like men, we're not like, no man really looks like that. I mean, you got the men that, you know, if some guy is like gigantic, they'll be like, yeah, he's definitely doing the old poke in the back cheek, if you know what I mean. But other than that, men are just like, oh man, I don't have the drive and motivation to look like that. Like it's yeah, that's so some guys are just like genetically blessed, plus they work hard, and some guys just work really hard. So look at Chris Pratt, man. I mean, some women thought he was handsome while he was chubby, but he was chubby for like ever. He was just like a dude. And then all of a sudden he wants to be a superhero and he's freaking ripped and jacked, and these women are like, "Oh my gosh, let's take a second look at Chris Pratt." Am I right? No guy was sitting there like, "Men don't look like that." Like, okay. Nobody's looking at Kratos in God of War and complaining about that. We need to make Kratos look less manly and intimidating. This is stupid. Yeah, Mrs. Freeze. Just my main question, this post may contain spoilers. Yeah. Let's see. Freeze had previously been hinted at when Reddit user Zeronity Plays shared a video of Brainiac referring to his Harley Quinn player as Freeze. Okay. Her name is Victoria Freeze, because of course. Hero saw this making the rounds today. Yeah, it seems like some of Brainiac's incidental combat banter featuring Victoria got missorted and given to Harley by accident. Oops. It's unlikely that it'll do anything to increase the game player base. According to SteamDB's charts, the game had an all-time peak concurrent players of 13,459 when it was released in early February. It quickly declined to below concurrent peaks below 500 by the beginning of March. It saw a slight bump while the introduction of the Joker, with the introduction of the Joker to 3,042 concurrent players in March 28th. However, it has since fallen off a cliff with a peak concurrent players in May below 200. And the most recent 24-hour peak, the game was able to hit 608 concurrent players. Yikes. Yeah, Rocksteady's parent company Warner Bros. Discovery confirmed that it took a $200 million impairment charge because it performed so poorly. Warner Bros. Discovery Chief Financial Officer Gunnar Weidenfels announced, starting with studios, the $400+ million year-over-year decline during Q1 was primarily due to the very tough comp we faced in games against the success of Hogwarts Legacy last year in the first quarter, in conjunction with the disappointing Suicide Squad release this past quarter, which we impaired, leading to a $200 million impact to EBITDA during the first quarter. Yeah, this game is just trash, man. Yeah, it already significantly reduced the amount of support the game will receive. It's got bare bones support now. Not as much as they originally planned. Yeah. My question is just like, why? Why did we need a female Mr. Freeze? Why did we need a Mrs. Freeze? Completely changes like the backstory of the character too. I guarantee they're not going to dig into that, and they never thought about it. They don't care about it. But you're just gender swapping everything for the sake of it. Oh well, because for people that don't know, the whole like Mr. Freeze wasn't just a guy that just froze crap. His whole thing was he cryogenically froze his wife, who had an incurable disease, and he's looking for a cure. Meanwhile, he accidentally got like partially frozen, so now he has to like live in his suit and live in the cold and whatever, otherwise he'll die. He can't be thawed out, basically. So but he's doing crime basically to get the funding and whatnot to save his wife, which paints the character in an anti-hero kind of like, yeah, as a bad guy, but he's like an ends justify the means kind of situation. It's not like, oh, I'm just doing evil because I'm an evil dude or I want to get paid, that kind of stuff. So there you go. But I don't know, man. I guess this is like, oh well, now the doctor is the woman and her husband is the one with the incurable disease. So now she's doing it. I guarantee they didn't think about that, and they're like, who cares? Whatever. He's a woman now. I don't think Mrs. Freeze is a transgender. I don't think that. But I don't know. I just think she looks like a lesbian, like Abby from The Last of Us 2. That kind of, yeah. I know Abby wasn't a les, but boy howdy did she look like it. Like she should be chopping wood out behind the house wearing flannel, and so does Mrs. Freeze. I don't know. It's just gross, man. Effing gross. We can't have anything nice. Nothing. All right. Let's get to our next story here. This one is a little more informative, less rage baity. All right. Apex Legends changes the Battle Pass system.
At Olive Garden?
I don't care about Olive Garden. That is getting me hungry, though. Apex Legends changes the Battle Pass system, and nobody likes it. Apex Legends Season 22's Battle Passes are looking like far worse offers. This is from comicbook.com, so it's not going to have a skew to the story at all. Apex Legends players often have long wish lists of things they'd like to see changed in the Battle Royale game. And while those lists may differ from person to person, the upcoming Battle Pass changes just jumped to the top 3 spots on many players' lists. That's because Electronic Arts and Respawn Entertainment are overhauling the Battle Pass system in Season 22 in an effort to improve your experience and progression goals. This evolution includes more crafting materials from the Battle Pass, uh, the removal of items players didn't use as often, but it also means paying more for the battle passes per season, as well as the removal of the ability to buy the passes with Apex coins. The last two parts are what have gotten to players ever since the EA announced the planned changes this week. Over the Apex site, EA confirmed that there will be one battle pass per split in Season 22, as opposed to one battle pass for the whole season. Those battle passes will be shorter individually to amount to more levels overall. The current battle pass has 110 levels for context, while the two splits battle passes will have 60 levels, each for a total of 120 levels next season. All right, let's get to the actual cost here. Instead, they'll cost $9.99 in the real world money first. So the Apex coins that you hoard from each battle pass so they can buy the next one will now have to be spent on other purchases from the store, since they'll have no value when it comes to getting the next battle pass. Yikes. I mean, it's EA. Are we shocked? Are we shocked that EA is going to bilk more money out of its customers? Really? I mean, come on now. Uh, I I I don't really know what else to say. I haven't played Apex Legends in a while. I like Apex Legends. I used to play it all the time with a friend of mine that passed away. But it's just I don't know. It lost its allure after a while. I wasn't very good at it. It was kind of fun at times, but it got repetitive for me. But man, I mean $10 isn't a lot of money, but in this economy when you're like, do I want to, you know, pay for a meal, or do I want the new battle pass from uh Apex Legends? Like, I mean, I don't know, every little bit counts. That's all I'm saying. And EA, if there's one thing they know how to do, it's to bilk their players for more and more and more money all the time. It'll never change. They're doing the meme basically, because it's become a meme. People openly mock them for this crap all the time, and they're just like, "Yeah, that's what we do. What of it?" Whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that's them. All right, to a fun story we got here on, and then I'll do some more station identification after this. But I apologize in advance for this picture. Ugh. All right. So everybody loves to talk about this woman. She's just like, I know she works for Kotaku. She doesn't work for Kotaku Australia. She just inserts herself everywhere. And she's like internet herpes. You just can't get rid of her. No matter what you do, she's just always popping up at the worst times. And here you go. Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante lashes out after Kotaku Australia shuts down from that Park Place. Yeah, I figured she'd have a melty. Look at that smug, punchable face. I am a man, so I would not hit a woman. But I guarantee my wife could beat her ass. Just saying. And the thing is, I wouldn't even like film it for my YouTube channel. I'm not making money on it. That was the way she chickened out of, because she challenged YouTubers and game reviewers or whatever to a physical fight, like a real adult, because they don't agree with her opinions on the internet. And when actual female YouTubers stepped up and was like, I'll do it, she's like, no, because you're going to make money off of it. Like, So is this going to be like an unfilmed backyard brawl? Is that what you're wanting? Such such a disingenuous moron. As reported by my God, that Harley Quinn face. As reported by the Sydney Morning Herald, Pedestrian Group is slashing at least 40 jobs and ending its licensing deals to publish third-party brands, including Vice, Refinery 29, Gizmodo, Lifehacker, and Kotaku in coming months. The outlet added, these titles will no longer be published in Australia, with the majority of their staff to be let go. I've actually got a positive story about it was a company that shut down that I didn't know much about the company itself. I'd heard some not great things about the things they do and believe in and whatever, but I don't know. I just watch certain shows that they offer. So I was a little worried when they got shut down, but positive news recently came out and whatnot. So I'll be covering that here in a little bit. This is not a positive story about this company, though. And I'm all here for it. Let's see. So this guy, Pedestrian Group CEO Matt Rawling, added, given these factors, we've made the tough decision to focus on our wholly owned pedestrian brands, where we control the strategy, the content, the product, the sales, and the outcome, the entire business. This means that we will transition out of our current brand licensing, which will reposition our business for the future. Yeah. These people are finding out that they're useless and nobody cares that they are doing what they do. They serve no like practical purpose. Nobody cares about them. Now, real journalism, there's still a place in the world for that, obviously. This is not that. This is like most of these people at Kotaku are not real gamers. They wouldn't know how, like, they know nothing or the bare minimum about actual gaming. They don't look for things in games that 99% of gamers look for. What they're looking for is the socio-political garbage that they can report on. Not enough hot man on man action. 3 out of 10. You know, crap like that. Where's the diversity and that kind of stuff? And they'll crap on actual gamers and they'll whine and cry and write all these bait articles. There was one, this wasn't even about gaming. This same chick right here, Alyssa Mercante, just wrote some article about how if you don't like the Acolyte and all that, then you haven't been paying attention to Star Wars. And Alyssa Mercante, she will tell you what Star Wars is really about because, you know, she knows. Like, eat all the butt. But either way, Kotaku Australia managing editor David Smith confirmed the site was being shut down. He wrote on X, "Folks, I have some sad news to share. Today, the story of Kotaku Australia comes to a sad and abrupt end. It has been one of the great joys of my life to wake up every day and run a site I love with all my heart." Yeah. Okay, it's sad. Look, I'm sure there are some bad, or I'm sure there are some good people that work at Kotaku Australia and Kotaku as a whole. I'm sure there are some, and I'm sorry that you're a casualty in this, but the majority of the people at Kotaku, I will say this, deserve to lose that job. I'm not saying they deserve not to work. They deserve to have a job. They should have a job doing something, but that ain't it. Kotaku, in its current iteration, it should not exist. And it's not making money. And that's the other thing. If you're not making money, if you're getting dragged all the time, if your reporting is garbage, you don't deserve to have that job, period. Get out of that. Find another line of work. All right. That's like when you say, like saying like somebody in the NFL is a horrible wide receiver. It's like, you don't deserve to be in the NFL. You're not saying you deserve to starve on the streets and not have a job. No, you're saying this job ain't for you, homie. Get out. But Mercante, of course, reacted to the news in a couple of posts or a couple of thread posts on X. First, she wrote, "Sending solidarity and love to the amazing writers at Kotaku AU and all the other sites affected. You are all stars and deserved better." And look, it was fine until she gets to this part. "Capitalism is cruel. Your work remains always." Okay, first of all, capitalism, I guess it depends on your definition of cruel. Capitalism is the barometer, the free market. If people don't want your crap, they shouldn't have to pay for your crap. Period. That's why I don't agree with like these publicly funded news sources. Like, you don't deserve that. If you'll get funded if people watch you or listen to you. Period. And the free market spoke. Capitalism spoke. You suck. Nobody likes you, and you're garbage reporting. Get the F out. Period. And your work remains always? No, it doesn't. It's gone. Your work's gone. Nobody cares. You did nothing of note that anyone will remember 5 months down the road. It does not remain. Here we go. She continued, "The internet and the rats infesting it are even crueler, but a reminder, cheering for good people losing their jobs while men get rich off their labor is morally bankrupt." What if women are getting rich off their labor? Is that still morally bankrupt? Is it? Yeah. Look, there's somebody at the top who's got to run the thing. If they see you're not making them money, which they clearly were not, because these people are not getting rich off your labor. If they were, you would still be laboring. 1 + 1 does not equal 5. All right, just God. Mercante then concluded, "And by the way, I hate that I even have to say this, but let's stop the reactionary ride before it gains speed. We are not affiliated with Kotaku AU. Okay. We don't share anything except a love for games and good reporting." Okay, you don't share those because even if Kotaku AU has a love for games and good reporting, which I don't know, you don't. Kotaku doesn't. So you don't share that. You objectively don't share that. And you also, the one thing you do share is a name. So you might not kind of like your license. It sounds like they were licensing the Kotaku name because they thought it had some cachet. It doesn't, except for a lolcow on the internet. But like, what the hell are you? what the hell are you thinking, man? The thread is full of lies, something Mercante is known for, cheering for an outlet that spreads blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Bishop Barron explained to English News. I don't think any of that is, yeah, okay. I don't want to hear from a priest. I don't care. Good Lord. Are they going on like a religious rant here? Yikes. Like, what does any of this have to do with it? All right, here. I wanted more coping and seething and crying from Mercante. I don't care about the thoughts of a priest on all this. Good grief. Also, Mercante had no problem celebrating Smash JT's website getting shut down. She posted to X at the end of May after Wix took the site down. "Oop, website not detected." Huge shout out to Nick Calandra, who reached out to Wix about the site and consistently followed up. Clearly, they agreed that he was engaging in targeted harassment, among other things. She added, "This is a great precedent, a great sign that there are people and places on the internet who know targeted harassment and cyberbullying when they see it." Get effed. And it goes on. I'm not going to get into any more of this. I've spent too much time and breath on this chick. I'm in my Hero Academia hat again. The one I'm going to post a short about it tomorrow about the stuff you can find at Hobby Lobby. Basically, I found other pictures of stuff you can find anime related at Hobby Lobby. But yeah. So anyway, that's Alyssa Mercante's words of wisdom. Get wrecked. The rest of you out there, I did want to pause while I'm getting these next few stories pulled up. I want to pause for station identification. If you are watching on Rumble or Facebook, or I'm sorry, Rumble or YouTube, I appreciate you. Thank you. It's awesome. And please follow or subscribe if you're on YouTube. And make sure you get notified every single time I post new content, which is multiple times a week. I post long form videos. And yeah, I post on YouTube. I post a lot of shorts as well. So there's tons of shorts on there. Content that is not in a long form video. I also cut up my long form videos and make shorts out of them. So if you just want a little snippet of it, it's there. If you're on X, please follow. Give me a follow on there. And Instagram, I'm on there as well. It's the same handle. It's at marks_on_media. On YouTube, if you want to follow me on YouTube, it's youtube.com/at main event, or sorry, at Marks on Media. Rumble, it's rumble.com/C/Marks on Media. I'm also on Kick and Locals. If you search for Marks on Media, I am there, baby. Give me just a second here. Da, 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 da. I'm just sharing this on the X app here. Topics we're diving to sit. All right. Do I have? All right. So there's some fun stuff we got to talk about here in just a second. Where's the link, baby? Link it up. All right. About to share on X. So again, if you can follow me on X, it's or Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's twitter.com/marks_on_media, or if you go to X, it's at marks_on_media. Let's see. Man, lots of stuff. All right. Should I get into the next topic now? Stop stalling. My bad. Let's see how many people are actually watching on X. For some reason, Rumble tells me everywhere except for X. All right, cool. All right, let's dive into the next topic here. Sorry to keep you all waiting. We're actually getting into movies now. After this, I may have to take a quick break to go relieve myself. But yeah, either way, let's get into this. I have not heard much about this. I heard it was coming, and I forgot about it. But they're making a Nosferatu movie this year. The legendary horror classic Nosferatu makes a grand return to theaters in 2024. Directed by Robert Eggers, remake of the 1922 silent film, which, by the way, holds up. I still like it. But Bill Skarsgård will be Count Orlok, who is Nosferatu. For those that don't know, Nosferatu is basically a German version of Dracula. That must be his accomplice there. Is that Willem Dafoe? Kind of looks like him. Lily Rose Depp. I didn't know she was in that. I'm assuming that's who that is, right? Nosferatu is an adaptation of Bram Stoker's gothic novel Dracula. Murnau changed the character's name because he didn't have the rights to adapt the book in hopes of avoiding a lawsuit. He was still sued by Stoker's family, and the world gained this German expressionist cinema's masterpiece. Eggers' American version of Nosferatu will be the first official remake of the story that has already been the inspiration of other versions, most notably Werner Herzog's Nosferatu the Vampire. See, I don't think there's a... Is that really what he's going to look like? Or I think that's just photoshopped. The Nosferatu remake wrapped principal photography in May of last year. An official teaser trailer was released June 2024. Really? Okay, I haven't watched it yet. Yep. Lily Rose Depp and Willem Dafoe's characters. Yep. Okay, so I was right on the money. I'm going to play a little bit of... Good grief. All right. Skip. Whoa. Hold on. Technical difficulties here playing videos. Whoop. I may have to skip around a little bit.
Come to me. Come to me. Does he
get taken down, so
he is coming to us. We are here encountering Arkham.
Christmas. Well, then, I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking like a Halloween release, right? See some shots here. Oh, that dude, or those dudes.
Did you know YouTube has billions of viewers?
Shut up. I always forget their names. I know who the hell they are. I just forget their names. Willem Dafoe, obviously. That guy. Back at the beginning. Yeah. So, I don't know. It looks cool. I would have went for a hat. Really? Really? She knows you guys want to see her more than her daddy. Hi, baby. Hi. Yes. Getting attention. She is the little princess in the house. My wife's baby. Our first bottle-fed kitty that we ever had. She is severely attached to my wife. She loves me too, though, obviously. She wants to get involved in the live stream. Come on, kitty. Anyway. Hope I don't get taken down for the cat bee-hole that we just saw. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I was thinking it was going to be a Halloween release. That was like perfect. They're dropping it on Christmas. Maybe they think people get bored, want to see a classic, or like a remake of a classic horror film for Christmas time. Some Christmas time releases do really well. It really depends. So I know, I guess this was Thanksgiving. This past Thanksgiving, Disney released Wish, and they were thinking it was going to be big. It was like their next princess and all this other stuff. Had Easter eggs to all their other princesses and didn't do well. I actually liked Wish as much as I bash on Disney. But hopefully this does well. Looking forward to Nosferatu. Like I said, I like the original one, the black and white silent movie one. So hopefully this will be better. But yeah, it is a wholehearted ripoff of Dracula. Let's get into this, if anybody cares. The Devil Wears Prada sequel is in the works with Meryl Streep. Streep is set to return as Miranda Priestley. So Disney's 20th Century Studios is developing a fashionably late follow-up to 2006's The Devil Wears Prada, according to Puck. Oh, man. So Meryl Streep is coming back. Emily Blunt is coming back. Let's see. Penned the first movie, and Lauren blah 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 is in the talks to write the decades later sequel. So all women, as you'd expect, writing, producing, directing. It's unclear if the movie will be based on Weisberg's 2013 sequel novel Revenge Wears Prada, The Devil Returns, which takes place a decade after Andy Sachs quits the job A Million Girls Would Die For. In the novel, set against the backdrop of her wedding, Andy and her former nemesis and co-assistant, Emily, join forces to start their own high-end bridal magazine titled The Plunge. In February, a cerulean-clad Hathaway appeared alongside Streep and Blunt for a mini Prada reunion on stage at the SAG Awards. Although Hathaway cast doubt on Devil Wears Prada sequel in 2021 episode of The View, she shared a tempting idea about where Andy, Emily, and Nigel might be years later. Not going to watch that. Don't care. I don't know if there can be a sequel. I just think that movie was in a different era. Now everything has gone so digital, and that movie centered around the concept of producing a physical thing, and it's just very different now. Hathaway said, "It is tempting to think about Andy and Emily needing to get Miranda her coffee, and she's somewhere in Europe, and then along the way they pick up Stanley Tucci in Italy, who's at a restaurant. It's tempting, but I don't think it's going to happen. They could relaunch it, get some new people, and do it," the Oscar winner added. Yeah, so it made a lot of money. It was a huge hit based on a book. I forgot that part. So I did not watch it. But from what I have heard from other women, they couldn't really do that movie now and that story concept the same way now anyway, because of two reasons. The first is basically Anne Hathaway's character kind of gives stuff up because she's married to her job at this point, while also with a man she loves, or I think engaged or married or something like that. And she sees that it ruined Meryl Streep's marriage. She chose the job over marriage, and she's just dedicated everything to the job and lost the love of her life as far as a man. And Anne Hathaway wasn't willing to do that. She didn't want to choose career over family. So she chose her fiance or husband or whatever and quit that job because she didn't want to be bitter and old and spinster. And you couldn't do that nowadays because, girls are told you can have both. And if you can't have both, then choose the job every time, be a girl boss. And, men are a dime a dozen, screw everybody except for yourself. And then the other thing is the women were catty and fighting and whatever. And it was pretty realistic, but you can't have that now. Every girl has to get along and they're, girls stick together, girls support each other, girls love each other. They always get along. And if they don't get along, it's a man's fault and whatever. So you couldn't do that now in today's era. So the story doesn't really work. They would really have to change things, and they would probably give the Meryl Streep character some backstory about why she is terrible, and it's actually a man's fault, and she had to bash through that glass ceiling and whatever. It would be annoying. Like I said, I didn't watch the first one. I wouldn't watch this one, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you've seen it, if you're going to see this one. Hot take, I don't like Meryl Streep in anything. I've never seen anything Meryl Streep was in, and I thought, my God, she's fantastic. I know everybody poops their pants over her. She's so great. You got to get Meryl Streep in your movie or your show or whatever. She's a fine actress. Fine. But she's not in anything that ever interested me, and anything she was in that I watched, I was just like, eh. So I don't know. Let's see. I am pulling something up. Give me just a second here. We do have plenty of more stories I want to get into here in just a minute. It's they're all related to movies. I mean, I have more than just movie stories, but I have a lot more movie related stories I need to get into before we move on. Give me just a second here. Okay. Oop. There. Okay. Hopefully this works. Sorry, I'm trying to upload something here. This makes for great streaming entertainment, I'll tell you. Okay. Boom. I will be right back. Give me like a minute and a half, and we will continue on with some Gladiator 2 news. BRB. I'm back. I'm back. Take that off the screen. All right. I really apologize to anybody watching the stream. That was horrible. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not like feeling well today. I have a splitting migraine, which is the norm, but I don't have any medicine for it. So I'm dealing with it today. I took my like last 2 aspirin early this morning, and I forgot on my work break before the stream to go get some more. And I forgot to grab any last night while I was at the store until it was too late. So I'm dealing with this. If you can hear, I have this dry cough for some reason. And yeah, I just got hit with some stomach issues in the middle of the stream. So I definitely had to run because I can't trust a fart. Maybe a little bit of TMI, but you know, I just want to let y'all know what I'm going through for y'all's sake. All right, moving on. Enough stalling. Gladiator Dose. Trailer released. Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal star in Ridley Scott's new epic. Let's see. Okay, so this one. Whoa. Punching my mic. Everything okay? Everything okay. Dang. Okay, what is going on here? Every time I try to mute it. Gosh, what is going on? It won't let me go full screen, nothing. There we go. Maybe? Okay. For the love of Pete. Hopefully that didn't screw me up. Hot dang, man. All right. I'm going to have to skip through this so, you know, so I don't get taken down. Maximus. Little flashback. Denzel. So the visuals look cool. Oh. Oh, I've heard of that. That's awesome. I only found out about those recently where they would literally have let me skip back to kind of go with what I'm saying here. Okay, so they would have simulated boat fights or ship fights, ship battles. Here we go. That's it. Right there. They would fill this Coliseum with water. It was like a stadium like this. This is awesome. I'm definitely in now, just for this scene alone. They would fill it enough so that you could get actual ships in there, and then they would have like, I mean, they're not really simulated because people are dying for real. They would have these ship battles and for freaking entertainment and training and that kind of stuff right there, just like the Coliseum where they would like fight to the death for real in these with the gladiators. That's cool. Like I said, I didn't watch the first Gladiator, so I don't know what all's in there per se. Okay, so that is not the guy, I don't think. I saw another dude that looked like this. It's I feel bad, I don't remember his name. Eddie from Stranger Things. What's his name? Stranger Things Eddie. Actor. Hell is his name, bro? Joseph Quinn. Yeah, Joseph Quinn. That is not him. Ridley Scott. There we go. Oh, Pedro. There we go. Oh, there he is. Ah, a lot of ship battles in this one. That's okay, so that must be his doofy brother or something. Yeah, there he is. Eddie. What's up, Eddie? AKA the new Human Torch. Oh, I just realized that Human Torch and Mr. Fantastic in the same movie. There you go. He looks familiar, that little dude. I'll have to look it up. Anyway. Man, the battle looks awesome. The he looks like a real effing man. A real effing man. Denzel is Denzel. Riding an effing rhino. Look at that. Like a real man. Hell yeah. Kind of looks like, you know what that guy, Paul Mescal, you know what he looks like, or who he looks like is Gerard Butler in a way. I mean, not exactly, but he's got the blue eyes, he's got the hair, got the beard. I think Denzel's character is like a former slave that got into like a high paying position. Wow. Gladiator dose, baby. I don't know. I was meh on it. Now I'm all in. I like it. The visuals are cool. The ship stuff alone, and then where they're crashing the gates, and with the ships and the trebuchets or whatever, looks cool. The dude riding on the effing CGI rhino was kind of cool. CGI wasn't terrible from what I could see. Looked pretty decent. I'm gonna try to give Ridley Scott the benefit of the doubt. I'll watch it. I gotta watch the first Gladiator first, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I really dug it. I like the casting for it. Denzel will do Denzel things and steal the show. I don't think Pedro. I don't know. I like Pedro Pascal. I don't think he's going to steal the movie by any stretch. That Paul Mescal. I'm anxious to see if he's leading man material for a movie of this size. Joseph Quinn is great. He just keeps upping his stock in my eyes. I will say, I have zero interest in watching A Quiet Place Day One or whatever the hell it was called with him in it. It doesn't look good. John Krasinski's not involved. Emily Blunt's not involved. I don't care. I barely cared through the first two. The first two were good, but I was just like, enough's enough. But yeah, that one, Gladiator 2 is going to be a watch for me, for sure. It looks like, and it's just like a good old fashioned, like, epic film and just like man film, gets that testosterone pumping. Not that I'm like the manliest of men, whatever. That's why I got the beard for two reasons. One, to make me look, more manly, and the other is because I have kind of since I put on weight in the last few years, I am more of a round jaw. And yeah, I got that from my grandfather. It gets round and it makes me look fatter. So this gives me a little bit of definition in my jaw area. But yeah, Gladiator 2, man, that's a watch. That's going to be on my list. Let's move on. We got a lot to cover and not a whole lot of time left. Try not to go too super long today. I'm cutting it off at 2 hours at the most. Let's go with this. One of my favorite shows with the most rewatch value. Joel McHale offers update on Community movie. 6 seasons in a movie, baby. Final Conjuring movie gets release date. Okay, we'll cover that here in just a minute. Let me open that in a new. There we go. All right. Shooting should start in 2025 on the long-awaited follow-up to Community, and no, the delays aren't Donald Glover's fault. That was a speculation for a while because he's doing albums and tours or whatever. If people don't know, Donald Glover is a rapper, Childish Gambino. You know what I wish is that I don't care about his rap music at all. I don't care. This Is America was a cool song, but that's about it. I don't really care about his music. What I want is another stand-up special from him. Has anybody seen his one? I think it's called Weirdo or something like that. It's really good. It's hilarious. And yeah, I wasn't. I didn't know what to expect from him. And at the time, I had never watched Community. That was the only thing I knew was his stand-up. I'm like, I know who this guy is. I'll watch it. It was hilarious, man. I want another one. And in Community, he's fantastic. So by the way, down here, are they advertising those pretzels? Rolled gold pretzels? My God. Anyway, it's been over a year since Peacock Community movie was finally announced, ending years of rumors and exciting fans of the groundbreaking sitcom. Unfortunately for those same fans, production on the movie still hasn't started, but series lead Joel McHale promises it's happening vaguely in 2025. It comes in an interview he gave for his appearance on The Bear, a job he got in part because he met showrunner Chris Storer through Community's Gillian Jacobs, back when the show was still on the air, and Storer wasn't famous. I don't give a crap. Okay, so basically these ones are coming back. I guess Donald Glover's involved. I guess from the sounds of it, because they said because let's see, hasn't committed to it. Oh, okay. So Donald Glover. Oh, there was rumors that it was Donald Glover's fault for the production. The superstar musician and Atlanta producer and star left Community in the series' 5th season, which bummed me the F out. I love Troy, but has committed to appearing in the movie. Cool. Quote, if it's anybody's fault, it's my schedule on this one. It's not his at all. He was available, McHale told GQ. When reminded of the reports blaming Glover for the delays, he added, quote, I will say, and please print this, that was definitely not true. It was not Donald's schedule. We love Donald. You can fully blame my schedule, end quote. Yeah, he's in, Joel McHale, that is in this new show called Animal something. Damn it. I'm not going to tell you now. Joel McHale. It's on Hulu. Animal Control. That's it. I forgot he was in Blended. But Animal Control, it's not when you're comparing it to something like Community, it's not going to hold up. But it's genuinely funny. I look forward to watching it every week. The characters aren't quite as endearing, but they've got a funny cast. I don't remember any of their names, so that's bad, except for I think his partner's name is Rip or something. I think his name is Rip. I don't even remember Joel McHale's character's name, but it's funny. And if you're looking for just like a tune out, turn your brain off kind of show, there you go. Yet again in this show, Joel McHale has daddy issues. I don't know if he does in real life, but his character in Community, his dad ran away and he had daddy issues. His character in Animal Control, his dad is like a drunk a-hole that they don't get along. So I don't know. Take that for what you will. But it is funny if nobody's watched it. I will say the guy that plays his partner, Rip, I think is his name. He looks like a long-haired Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones. If people don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. I'm serious. I don't know the. I'm gonna have to look up the actor's name. Animal Control cast. What's this dude's name? Fred. I don't remember. Okay, Victoria. That's right. Victoria is a Australian, and they had this whole storyline in this last season about she's trying to, like, her green card's about to run out, and she's trying to get her visa renewed. And then Amit Patel is one of the characters. He works with the Australian, and he's like the most basic dad ever. Like he's got like a house full of kids, a wife that's overworked, and he's like always trying to like find a reason to stay out of the house longer. Emily is like the boss, and she's like not fully equipped for the boss role. She's too nice, so she's kind of learning as she goes. Fred. I don't remember his name being Fred. I thought it was Rip. But the actual actor's name is Michael Rowland. I don't know. I think he looks like Ramsey Bolton. You guys can disagree with me all you want, if you watch it. But yeah, Animal Control is good. But the Community movie, at least getting filmed next year, supposedly. Everybody on there is doing something. I mean, Gillian Jacobs, I don't know what her schedule looks like. I know Allison Brie's always doing something. Donald Glover is always doing something. The guy that plays the dean, I can't think of his name. Let me look. Jim Rash. And Jim Rash, I don't think is that busy. Danny Pudi is occasionally busy. Ken Jeong is always freaking doing something. He's on The Masked Singer and all that. And then, and then you've got obviously Joel McHale. Like I said, he's got a new show, and the only one that sucks is it looks like Yvette Nicole Brown will not be in the movie. See if they even address her. Here we go. Yvette Nicole Brown has become a pop culture ambassador, appearing in dozens of projects, including a reoccurring role on Talking Dead. Yeah, she's a big super fan. And roles in The Odd Couple, Inside Out 2. Oh, I didn't know she was in that. And a bunch of other crap. Okay, it's just talking about... Yeah, it's not even addressing her being in the movie. Community movie plot revealed by Donald Glover. Okay, maybe we'll get some more details here. We'll center around the Greendale College reunion. An ad. All right, here we go. Sorry, guys. All right, let me share the screen here. Just dig into a little bit more of this. I don't know how new this is. Also from comicbook.com, community movie plot revealed by Donald Glover. Let's see. During a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Donald Glover was asked about his role in the upcoming Community movie. He didn't reveal much, but Glover did say that the film was a college reunion, and a large part of the story will be Abed as a Hollywood director making a movie about Greendale. Yeah, Dan Harmon told me what he wanted, and I was like, this sounds great, Glover said. It's a college reunion, but Abed is like the big director now, and basically this is his magnum opus. I'm like, this sounds effing tight. All right, cool. That does sound pretty cool, and it's very on brand for the show, so they're not changing much. I like that. I wonder what they're going to do with Troy, because spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen Community, last we see is he's like embarking on a boat cruise, like with nobody but... You'd have to watch the show to know, but he's with LeVar Burton in a boat going around the world, and if he does it, he'll get Pierce's like all of his money, because Pierce was played by Chevy Chase. There are many reasons, both in script and in real life, why Chevy Chase will not be in this movie. But yeah, I'm not going to reveal it here because I already revealed that one spoiler. But yeah, so cool stuff. Looking forward to it. Let's get into this one. I just want to see what the date is here for this one. The story just popped up for me. So, all right. Final Conjuring movie gets its release date.
Boston Proper is for women who love
shut up.
distinctive.
Stupid ads. All right. Conjuring 4 has finally gotten a new release date. Warner Bros. Says that the untitled Conjuring finale will hit theaters on September 5th, 2025. This news comes tethered to an announcement of Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride moving up a month to September 29th, 2025 as well. That fall is going to be a busy month for horror fans. Is The Bride associated with the Conjuring universe? It's a swan song for James Wan's fan favorite scary franchise. He's been hinting at this next movie being the end of the road for a while. Yeah, sucks. I love the Conjuring franchise. I wasn't big into Annabelle. The Annabelle movies. I know a lot of people love Annabelle. I mean, I get it. It just was never really my thing. I don't know. I didn't care that much. But the Conjuring films, I freaking love them. I don't know if that The Bride. It's like, is that because I heard they were making a Bride of Frankenstein movie? So is that it, or is it like associated with the Conjuring universe? I guess we'll have to see more. But yeah, September of 2025. I usually take like there for a while. There was a string of every time because my wife's birthday is around that time of the year. We would go see a horror film in theaters for her birthday. That was like that was her thing. Now we go to the Renaissance Festival, but that we might have to go back to that for 2025, going back to the theater to see a horror film because she loves the Conjuring movies more than I do, and I really like them. I like the actors in those movies. I like the storylines, even if they're a little goofy at times. Love them. I like them better than the not Insidious. What was I don't know the one the Red Door was the last one. Let's see, Red Door. Yeah, Insidious. Okay, I was right. Yeah, the Insidious franchise was mid. Like the first one I thought was pretty good. After that, it was like, eh. Second one was pretty decent. But all right, let's go to Disney. Got about a half hour here, so let's get pumped through some of these. CBR, baby. Moana live action gets big update revealed by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Johnson will reprise his role as fan favorite Maui in both the upcoming animated sequel and the live action Moana movie. I'm actually pretty stoked for that. Moana 2 from the trailer. It looked pretty good. And most of the stuff they've been coming out with lately even if it turned out to be decent, it looked like crap. So very very much like excited about that. Let's see. Posted on Instagram, Johnson confirmed that production on the live-action Moana movie is currently scheduled to start sometime in August, 3 months before the animated sequel arrives in theaters on November 27th. He also expressed his excitement at getting a chance to continue to highlight Polynesian culture with the upcoming live-action adaptation. Quote, "It's our deepest honor to share the legends, songs, dances, and traditions of our Polynesian culture with all of you and your families around the world," Johnson wrote. Production begins this August. Cool. Disney has found its live-action Moana family. There you can see who they cast. Not bad. Moana is going to look more... I don't feel like she looked like a little girl, like, too much. I don't know. I feel like that character could be a little older, so it's nice. They're going with a much younger Moana in case they want to, probably go with a sequel. I think she looks younger, the grandma. Her death scene was, sorry, spoilers, but her death scene was, like, really heartbreaking. Like, it was sad, but, yeah, good cast. She looks a lot like her. He looks a lot like the dad, the chief. Good stuff. I really like it. Looking forward to it. I'm not big on the live action remakes, but this one, and I feel like I hate to put it this way, but the fact that it's not dealing with white people in a white setting with a white story, I feel like they're not going to F with it. So it's actually going to be what the movies were. I am anxious to see how they're going to do Te Fiti and all that with the CGI. And if they're going to do that little, like the little creatures that are like the masks, whatever, the tiki mask things. I don't know, it could be interesting. And are they going to have the dumb chicken? Hey. Guess we'll have to wait and see. But all right, yeah. Moana production starts, live action production starts in August, and the sequel comes out in November. That one over Thanksgiving, I think might actually do well for Disney this year. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm holding out hope for that one, actually, believe it or not. All right. This one, I was blown away. I didn't know this was a thing. I have not been keeping up on this. They're making another Jurassic World. My God. And Scarlett Johansson's in it. She says, calls Jurassic World 4 script so incredible, says she cannot express how excited I am. Yeah, at least that makes one of us. Boarded as the next boarded the next boat voyaging to Isla Nublar. Johansson has joined the cast of Jurassic World 4. And being part of the new staple franchise is a big deal for her. She told comicbook.com, the script is so incredible. David Cape, whatever, wrote it. He returned after like 30 years to write the script. He's so passionate about it, which is so awesome. This picture looks so inappropriate. Look at that face. So he penned the first Jurassic Park film with the author of the book and its sequel, The Lost World. That might be a tick against him, not in his favor. He sat out the last 4 movies, but is returning to the series for the first time in 25 years for a brand new take. I didn't hate Jurassic Park 3. I know that might be a hot take, but I don't know. I liked it. It was okay. As an enormous fan of Cope's work on the original, Johansson said she is excited to be part of something her younger self could appreciate. Quote, it's one of the first films I remember seeing in the theater. I remember seeing it so vividly. It was like life-changing. It was mind-blowing. I cannot express how excited I am. Yeah. I don't know. The last couple Jurassic movies have blown all the butt. Details from Variety report suggest the possible title is Jurassic City. Ugh. And the plot revolves around 3 adults and 3 teens getting stuck on the island, which is probably Sorna or Nublar. Okay. Cool. Let's just hope it's better than the last one. That last one, they're like the whole allure. They were like, oh, it's like we're bringing back the old cast of Jurassic Park and they're meeting the new cast of Jurassic World and they're going to do things. And it sucked. They retconned the entire history of Jurassic Park because it was a young girl's genius that made this happen. My God. Gotta be a young woman that she was such a genius and misunderstood and the men messed it up. So they retconned that, made it boring. Then it focused around freaking bugs, man. They had to deal with these stupid freaking dinosaur locusts throughout the whole movie. I don't care. Who could have possibly cared at all? Like, they made us sit through this whole freaking thing about freaking dinosaur locusts, and it just, like, the characters weren't very good. They had a version of a dude looked exactly like Tim Pool. They dug him up from the first movie, a character I don't even remember that apparently ran everything now. I don't remember much of the plot. I do remember. I remember this. I remember because Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard took the little clone girl out into the woods to live like a secluded life, and they won't let her go into town and all this other stuff. I'm like, what are you planning on doing for this girl's life? Is she just gonna hide out with you forever? That's stupid. But dinosaurs are like roaming around now because the dumb clone girl let them go because they're like me or whatever. And so they're wreaking havoc. And freaking Chris Pratt is still able like Blue like knows what he's thinking. And and now the clone girl can just like put her hand up and be like, hey, you know what I'm talking about. Don't do that. And like, it just gets dumber and dumber and dumber. The first movie was a great concept. I feel like I haven't watched The Lost World in a while, but I remember Jurassic Park 3 I thought was still pretty decent, kept with the spirit of things. I think from what I remember, they took details of the actual like sequel novels and put into Jurassic Park 3, which is why it wasn't like beat for beat, but they took details. And that's why I like the concept, because I thought, oh, no, this is different, cool, makes sense. I don't know. Jurassic World can suck a butt, though. It's not very good. Let's take a look. Get to this one real quick. Here's a story that makes you go, why? Deadline. Sergio Leone and Clint Eastwood's classic, A Fistful of Dollars, getting a remake from Hollywood and Italian industry vets. Why? One of the greatest westerns is getting a remake. Sergio Leone and Clint Eastwood's classic, A Fistful of Dollars, is set for a movie remake from Eurogang Entertainment, the company founded by Hollywood vet Johnny Nunari, whatever. I don't give a crap about any of that. Hit Western A Fistful of Dollars is the story of a wandering gunfighter with no name who plays two rival families against each other in a town torn apart by greed, pride, and revenge. The film, released in the mid-60s, helped launch the spaghetti western genre and Eastwood's career, and others, including that of composer Ennio Morricone. Its huge success spawned two more films in the iconic trilogy, also comprising For a Few Dollars More and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, also starring Eastwood. The original has been identified as an unofficial remake of a Japanese classic, Yojimbo. The similarity in material resulted in a successful lawsuit by producer Toho. Dang. Can't just steal from other countries. Oh, they won't know. It's over in Japan. They'll know, dude. It's still early in the process, so production details are under wraps for now. This would most likely be English language, but that hasn't been confirmed by the team and a writer. Start date and cast have yet to be revealed. There hasn't been a significant remake of the original movie to date, but 4 years ago, we did a report on a Mark Gordon TV version being in development. That one didn't come to fruition. This shouldn't happen, in my opinion. It doesn't need a remake. It wouldn't work as a remake. It just, why? Why does everything need to be remade, redone, reimagined? Can't you just go back and watch the old stuff? I don't get it, man. Like, you have the movie to watch. All right, I wanted to go through some of these. I want to know you guys' opinions on that, by the way. Do you think it'll be good? The only thing I think that could make it somewhat tolerable is if they cast Scott Eastwood as Clint Eastwood's character. Just my opinion. And I had a comment on YouTube say the same exact thing. So I want to look at some of these upcoming movies for the next year, see if any of these pop out at you. I don't care about Guy Ritchie's In the Gray, whatever. This is stuff coming out in the next couple of years. Paddington in Peru. Didn't know that was a thing. I will watch it. I've seen the other Paddington films. They're cute. They're nice little cute films. Wolfman. They're still going through with that, I see. January. Okay. Another Bridget Jones movie? It's going to be exclusively on Peacock. Jeez. There's Captain America, Brave New World. The Smurfs movie. Didn't we already have one of those? Why are they acting like it didn't exist? Untitled Ryan Coogler vampire film. Okay. Snow White live action. We'll see. We shall see. We're getting a Minecraft movie next April. A Michael Jackson biopic next April. The Passion of the Christ Resurrection, Chapter 1. Oh, they're breaking it up in multiple parts. Okay. That's coming April. May, Thunderbolts, but, that's a big maybe. Untitled Karate Kid film, Mission Impossible 8. It'll be a big month. I don't know what the hell Flowervale Street is. Whatever. John Wick presents Ballerina in June. Let's see if anybody will care. Pixar's Elio. I don't even know what that is. Has anybody heard of that one? A live action How to Train Your Dragon. That could be maybe good. I don't know. Wait, we're getting a Dirty Dancing sequel? God damn. What is with this digging up movies from the 80s now, man? 80s and early 90s. They're like digging this crap up. We got to make spin-offs. We got to make sequels. We got to make remakes. Leave it the F alone. For God's sake. 28 years later. I never saw 28 Days Later, so I don't know. Megan 2.0. I didn't want to watch Megan. I heard it was good. I'm not a big horror guy. Untitled Sony Marvel film. Cool. Untitled Joseph Kosinski film. I thought it said John Krasinski at first. All right, July. Here we go. Here's where the Jurassic World sequel is going to go in July. Matt Stone and Trey Parker musical film. The South Park guys making a musical. I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. God dang it. What did I just say about early? I mean, that's not early 90s. Gotta. Whatever. Oh, what other old horror films, whatever, can we dig up? I know. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Superman next July. Cool. A Naked Gun reboot. Because of freaking course. The Fantastic Four. I will watch it just because I like torturing myself. The Bad Guys 2. Is there a sequel? That's the animated one from Universal, right? Did the first one even do well? They're doing another Insidious film? I think I heard something about that. And I'm like, why? They wrapped it up. They wrapped it up at the end of Red Door. There's nowhere else to go. Why do you... Oh, God. Nobody's original. And Nobody 2. Did Nobody 1 leave it open for a 2? That looked like a one-off. God. Him, a monkey paw horror film. All right, whatever. Untitled Conjuring finale. Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie. Okay. And Saw 11. 11! Torture Prawn. It sells, I guess. October, The Bride, Tron Ares. That's another one they keep beating to death. The Black Phone 2. Again, I like Black Phone 1, but did it need a sequel? The guy, like, it wrapped up. I'll just say that. It wrapped up at the end of the movie. You don't need a sequel. There's nowhere else to go. Mortal Kombat Dose. I'll watch it. Carl Urban's playing Johnny Cage, which I thought was an interesting choice, but whatever. This is November. We got Blade. That ain't happening. Wicked Part 2. Don't care. Zootopia 2. All right, I'll watch that one. December, we got Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Cool. I will watch it. Avatar 3. I'll watch it, but I'm not going to be like psyched about it. The SpongeBob movie Search for Square Pants. Okay. We got a Fast and Furious 11 coming out in 2026. Yikes, man. Cat in the Hat animated film, of course. Ong the Last Airbender, Street Fighter live action. That could be cool. Super Mario Bros. 2. The King Dynasty. Is it still called that? The Mandalorian and Grogu. Masters of the Universe live action. Wow, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Shrek 5. Coming out 2026. The Batman Part 2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem sequel. Did that one do well? We're getting another Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping. Okay, just keep squeezing blood out of that turnip, buddy. And Frozen 3. And some of these movies, I'm like, cool. Some of them, I'm like, most of these movies, this whole lineup, especially when you look at it one right after the other, it just shows how like creatively devoid and bankrupt all of Hollywood has become. Like sequel, reboot, movie nobody effing asked for. It's disgusting. They have nothing in the tank. All right, so I got 2 stories, but 3 articles we're going to look at, and you'll understand why. For anime, before we get into anime, though, I do want to ask if you are watching on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you're not on YouTube and you want to subscribe, youtube.com/@MarksOnMedia. If you're on Rumble and you haven't followed yet, please follow. If you want to follow me on Rumble, it's rumble.com/C/MarksOnMedia. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter/X, it's at Marks_on_media. That's Marks on Media with underscores between the words, because somebody already had Marks on Media, so I had to go with what I could get. And we are on Locals. We are on Kick. If you want to join my communities on there. I don't have any exclusive behind the paywall stuff on Locals or YouTube yet. I will, as soon as I get some people signing up for that, I will 100% put some put some content up there behind the paywall. But either way, sorry, texting the wife back here really quickly. All right, so we got foster cats before we get into the anime stuff here. And so the last couple we had, somebody found him in a box and we just took him in. Come to find out they had feline lice, which are not like human lice. These are smaller and they only are attracted to cats. Thank God, because I don't want lice like in my house. I have 6 cats, but we're able to quarantine the fosters so that they didn't get affected, and we wore like the hospital gowns and gloves and whatever. Well, we gave them back so they could get treatment, and they were like the sweetest freaking cats. I felt so bad for them. The boy ended up getting pneumonia and passing away, so that really sucked. He never really got a life. So that hit us pretty hard earlier this week. And we took in 2 more, and there was sweetest little dudes. But one of the boys is like not eating as much as he should. He's pretty skinny, and he like threw up a couple times. He's got some bad diarrhea. So the wife is the one that does the fostering. I just help. So she's going to get that taken care of tomorrow. But we're trying to get him to eat. But getting into this, to clarify, I have never watched Mobile Suit Gundam, but I do know it's a big deal. So I just wanted to talk about it. The Mobile Suit Gundam movie that took 30 years to make. I'm going to get down to the juicy part here just so we can get through this. I didn't know they were based on novels. So that's pretty cool. But it's so the Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway movies apparently is a trilogy. They kicked off last year, and the next one is coming out this year. Or no, I'm sorry. The first movie came out 2021. The second movie is scheduled for release later this year. So it's been a decent gap. But the book was written. Wait, Dexter must see dark R-rated crime threat. Oh, whatever. Sorry, I saw Dexter. I was like, wait, what? But anyway, it took like 31 years to make the first movie after the book was written. And so that's a long freaking time, man. Basically, just to run down what it is, Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway focuses on Hathaway Noah, the leader of a Terry organization named MAFTI, beginning with a hijacking perpetration by a group falsely claiming to be part of MAFTI. Hathaway's secret role in the group is exposed due to a relationship he forms with one of the freed hostages. The conflict between the Earth Federation and MAFTI escalates throughout the movie, eventually forcing Hathaway to join the battle in his RX-105 Gundam. Yeah, the art looks pretty sweet. I might actually watch these now that I know Gundam was made into like films and not just like an anime series. I might actually go back and watch them. But yeah, so it's a long freaking time, man, to take to adapt something. It took them 3 decades, and they were like, maybe. Like I said, I don't watch, but I know that Mobile Suit Gundam is like one of the biggest IPs in all of anime. And if you've got source material like books and whatever you can adapt from it, and you're not having to come up with all of it on your own, hell yeah, man! Like, why does it take so long? I did want to dive into this. I'm going to do both sides of the conversation here, just so I don't get accused of being biased, but either way. First side of the argument comes on behalf of Bounding into Comics. Sony-owned Crunchyroll disables comments user reviews in order to reduce harmful content and prevent misinformation. Yeah. In a purported attempt to foster a safer, more respectable, and higher quality environment. God. Crunchyroll has reportedly disabled the ability for users to leave comments, including reviews, across the entirety of their anime streaming platform. Wow. The change was first brought to public attention courtesy of a July 7th post made by Reddit user Teouts, whatever, to the unofficial R Crunchyroll subreddit. Quote, finished an episode of a show and made a comment, switched apps, and then came back to find the comment section gone. They relayed to their fellow platform users, quote, thought it was a bug, but apparently they've decided to suddenly blanket wipe everything. In support of their claim, that same person then shared a trio of screenshots showing a purported conversation they had with a member of Crunchyroll's support team in the immediate aftermath of their above discovery. Therein, the support member can be seen confirming the change, explaining to the user to maintain a safe, respectful, and high-quality environment for our community, we have decided to remove all existing comments and disable the ability to comment on our platforms, including comments on new articles. There you go. I apologize for the inconvenience. Reduce harmful content, blah, blah, blah. No mean words. Everybody needs a safe space. Lick my butt, blah, 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 blah. Following the public reveal of this change, Crunchyroll updated their official support and customer service page to add a brief section detailing, at Crunchyroll, we prioritize creating a safe and respectful community environment. To maintain this standard, we are removing all existing user-generated content, including comments, across all of our platforms and experiences. To the surprise of a few, this change has not gone over well with the Crunchyroll user database, many of whom, if the replies to that person's thread are any indication, enjoyed the communal aspect previously offered by comments and reviews. As such, unhappy fans have begun sending complaints directly to Crunchyroll themselves via their publicly available support lines. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them. Yeah, parent company Sony. They're not going to listen. Between the disabling of comments, the constant butchering of subtitles, and its ever buggy player. At this point, one has to admit, while it's convenient to watch for watching anime, the overall Crunchyroll experience is unpleasant and anti-consumer through and through. And sadly, it's probably only going to get worse. Before I get into the other side of this, from another left-leaning website that I think I've heard of them. I don't know. Just going to give my opinion on this. The reason they did this was not for a safe environment for everybody and our users to feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It wasn't that at all. So what it's about is, if anybody's been keeping up over the past year, probably 2 years, definitely this year, but I'd say the last 2 years has really been heating up. And I've done a few stories on this. There are the American like they were talking about subtitles, but even the dub, the English dub of a lot of the Japanese works, like animes and even video games now are doing this, where they're not just butchering the translation, they're actively saying something that was not said in the original anime or game. The localizers, the American English localizers, are changing it based on their political views. They've admitted this. There was I'm not going to tell you the Dragon Maid. What was it? Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Yeah, that one. There was a big thing about that. I did a story on where one of the localizers was like, yeah, I changed it, and you can all suck a butt. And like something about, I think she threw in a line about the patriarchy or whatever. There was another show that I had never, another anime, where they threw in some line about Gamergate, and it's nuts. It's they're disrespecting not only the people watching and listening, like the fans of this and the viewers, but they're disrespecting the people who created this. They didn't say you could do this. You're taking it upon yourself because you don't have enough oversight and people telling you no. And these people are worming into everything now. Nothing is safe. Anime used to be like the last hill, my last bastion, where I'm like, I will stand on this hill. There's no woke politics. There's not right-leaning politics either. There's just, yeah, some things will have socio-political messages, but it's not ham-fisted and it's done cleverly, and it's not like uber woke or uber conservative. Like, that was the last hill, and the woke are trying to take it over still, and people are tired of it. They don't want that. And I'll tell you this, most anime fans are pretty progressive, pretty I don't know, liberal, I guess. But they're not, a lot of them still don't like uber woke crap getting shoved into everything. They just want to watch a cartoon, and you're doing this, and then they might say something about it, and you're not liking that. You don't want the negativity. I can almost guarantee Sony just doesn't want feedback. They're like, I don't care what our viewers think. I just don't care at all. If we can have zero feedback, that would be great. And Crunchyroll said, all right, no more comment section. Done. Gone. Deal with it. Nerds. Weebs. Let's get the other side of this argument from a website called boingboing.net. Anime site Crunchyroll removes its bigot-flooded comments section. Here we go. So long, Crunchyroll comments shut down due to a systematic flood of right-wing war garble. What? Who talks this way? The anime site is removing its peanut gallery as peanuts are nastier than ever, and many of the throwers appear to be bots. Oh yeah, it's always bots. Anybody that disagrees with that side is always accused of being a bot. They posted that. They said the final straw appears to have been a review bombing campaign against Twilight Out of Focus, reports IGN. 1-star LGBT BS run. Another attempt from Crunchyroll or Alphabet, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that one is like an exact copy and paste, so I get that one. While removal of Crunchyroll's comments section seemingly came out of nowhere for users, anime YouTuber Jeff Thu theorizes that the decision came in the aftermath of a homophobic review bombing of Twilight Out of Focus, which premiered on July 4th during Anime Expo weekend. IGN reached out to Crunchyroll for comment. It might be straightforward enough to stop it. Charge for new accounts. Don't let new accounts post for a while. Detect and shadow ban bots, etc. But all those solutions represent an investment of further time and energy into maintaining something, the comments, which are already perceived as an unrewarding drain on those things. You've heard about the dead internet theory, a clever idea lately crystallized by the invention of AI content generators. It reflected a general anxiety about the media vibe shift in the late 2010s, not so much the rise of the alt-right and then MAGA, but how the media adopted to its presence and to its potential. Okay, so basically they're saying one show got review bombed because they could point to a few bots. But, it never goes the other way. You notice that? To them, review bombing only goes one way. The left never has bot farms to pump up certain individuals or points of view, ever. Nobody ever gets paid to shill. Nothing like that. No, it's always on the right. The right-leaning review bombers. Sure. All right. Let's see. How close are we now? Oi! I've already blown past 2 hours. Let's go a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to speed run some of these. But yeah, to wrap up the anime thing, I guess the comment section isn't really needed, but I don't know. I think there were better solutions than just shutting it all down. How about you shut it down? If you think that one particular show is getting review bombed, just shut that down. Is it really that big of a problem across Crunchyroll that they had to just shut the whole thing down? You've got plenty of other problems at Crunchyroll, like I mentioned earlier, where, like more technical issues where you shouldn't have to worry about whether or not your shows are getting review bombed. And even if they are, who cares? Is anybody paying attention to those? And if they see the same review over and over and over, you don't trust human beings to look at that and be like, oh, well, that's clearly BS, fake stuff. I'm not going to pay attention to this. And then watch the show anyway. Nope, you have to protect people from themselves because they're dumb, you see. I still say it's Sony going, we don't care what people really think. We'll tell them what to like, damn it. Everybody's favorite show. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. What the hell is in the bottom of my cup, man? Gross. Ew, there was something in the bottom of my cup, and I don't even know what. It's like clean out the cupboard. Yuck. Anyway. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, the Remelim and Ding Dong, Shamalala. Showrunners double down on lie that they are adhering to J.R.R. Tolkien's work. Let's try to get through some of this. Season 2 is vastly approaching. I can feel it in my butt. McKay and Payne repeatedly made the claim that they were, while promoting the first season of the show back in 2022, that they're adhering to the book. However, while they would make this claim, They would also admit that they were radically altering Tolkien's work for their adaptation. Back in February 2022, McKay informed Vanity Fair that the driving question behind the show was, quote, can we come up with the novel Tolkien never wrote and do it as the mega event series that could only happen now? Payne would also inform the outlet, quote, we talked with the Tolkien estate. You mean his loser grandson who's good for nothing? If you are true to the exact letter of the law, you are going to be telling a story in which your human characters are dying off every season because you're jumping 200 years in time, and then you're not meeting really big, important canon characters until season 4. I mean, that's how it is, man. Look, there might be some fans who want us to do a documentary of Middle Earth, but we're going to tell one story that unites all these things. He added, we think the work will eventually speak for itself. Before an orchestra starts, audiences will talk to each other, and then as soon as the music begins, you're in and you're listening to that music. What? What the F are you even talking about, man? Here's the stupid ass Comic-Con panel where they're like, oh, we always go back to the book. But right here, McKay would add, go back to the book, go back to the book, go back to the book. Yeah. Speaking with Collider about the show's upcoming second season, Payne stated, quote, it empowers you to see what people respond to, and it's always obvious people respond to Tolkien. That's why Tolkien is what, next to the Bible and the Quran, reaches readers around the world with a number of copies sold. So let's double down on Tolkien and go back to those things that draw people in. You didn't to begin with. He added, we had a plan and we're sticking with it. We have to do what we believe in. You lost 60% of your audience. Or actually, no, I think it was 70%. Yeah, they only had like 30% retention from episode 1 to episode 30. That is a humongous drop-off. Normally, when you have a show, let me explain this really slowly. When you have a show with a certain audience, by the season finale, the audience grows. It's in an upward trajectory, not a downward trajectory going downhill. You got 30% retention. Most of those people were hate watchers that were only watching so that they could go dunk on it online. That was most of the engagement you were getting. And then the rest of the ones were just diehards that you slap a familiar name and look on something, and they'll watch it, they'll listen to it. It's the same people that tune in for all the Marvel crap every year. It's the same people that tune in for all the Star Wars crap all the time that still sucks, but it's got familiar names and looks to them. So OMG, flashing lights, put it in front of me like freaking Cocoa Melon for adults or something. This show, it wasn't even that it's just like lore breaking. Like some of that I can forgive if it's well written and good enough, but it was like, it was written by stupid people who think they're really smart. The dialogue was garbage. Yeah, look, they've got a 5-year plan. God, McKay said, we took this insane, ambitious project on because we had a story we wanted to tell. You shouldn't. And we felt needed to be told. It didn't. We were willing to give our lives for a long time to tell it. Quite a hill to die on, man. The plan hasn't changed. It should. And then he said he would contradict this a little bit later. Quote, season 2 was largely written before season 1 came out, but season 2 has been produced after season 1 came out. Part of the learning process for us on this is really seeing what people seem to respond to in the show. God. Payne added, we also take in everything. We read everything. We read the reviews. We read what you all have written. We read what your colleagues have written, and we read what the fans are saying. Except the negative stuff. You don't care about that. You care about the people that give you plaudits and kiss your butt, kiss the ring, for lack of a, no pun intended there. The show is garbage in every imaginable way. Everything. There are certain things, I will admit, certain costumes look cool. Most of it looks like crap. The CGI sucks. The characters suck. The world building that they are doing around the good world building that Tolkien did sucks. Their explanations of everything sucks. The canon, the dialogue, just everything. The fighting, everything is garbage. There's not one redeeming part of the show. None of it. From the murder hobbits to the insufferable Galadriel girl boss, Guy Ladriel, to the Queen Regent that didn't exist, to they took her gerbs, elf haters, to Isildur's story that doesn't make any sense, to the made-up characters, Don Lemonless there, the frickin' elf. And now, one of the main characters from the first story that didn't make, or this first season that didn't freaking make sense, Bronwyn, isn't even returning because she quit to go be an activist for women in Iran. I'm not joking. That's what she's doing, which is cool, good cause, whatever. Better than this show. Yikes, man. Yikes. This next one isn't going to take too long. I'm making a short about this one as well, or I made a short about it, posted today on YouTube. Arkham Asylum series canceled at Max. Giant freaking robot here. Basically, I'm going to go through this really quickly. So it was announced back in July 2020. It was coming to Max. It went through... It's not based on the games. I thought it was based on the games. It's not. It was going to be a Gotham police procedural at first. It was like Gotham PD or some bullcrap, which sounds awful. Objectively, it sounds bad. And then they've lost an executive producer. They just lost the director. Okay, here. It was written by winner and writer was Arkham Asylum, but that fell apart by 2022. Nice winner as a writer for Arkham. Okay. Yeah, so they changed it to Arkham Asylum after they decided they didn't want to go with police procedural anymore. Thank God. Like, who the hell would want to see that? It was going to be a 1960s TV production. So, God. Filmmaker Matt Reeves was originally in charge of the project, which still offers a good chance of seeing life on the small screen. So basically, in a nutshell, and they go on to talk about Penguin, the new show coming out. It's shelved. It's not done. They say it's canceled. It's not canceled. It's shelved. They shelved the project for now. With no plans on when it's coming out, but they didn't say it's done for. They said it will come out eventually at some point, maybe possibly down the road. So there's that. Next, y'all, I just want to get into... All right, this one's from IGN. RWBY, or Ruby, however you want to pronounce it, finds a new home in wake of Rooster Teeth's closure. I never watched Ruby, but it's an anime. It's like, I don't know if it's based on a video game or if they have a video game. Here's the greetings fandom. Blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Just shared some Viz sighting news at the Viz panel at Anime Expo. Yeah, so like I said, it is an anime. So they're moving Ruby to Viz. The former Rooster Teeth crew says they're excited to work with Viz on the future of the beloved series. In talking with Viz, they're also very excited about this. Shawcross says they obviously care about where the show is now, but they also care about where it came from. And they want to make sure that we can continue this story. So that's cool. It's going to Viz. The other thing I saw from Rooster Teeth's closure that I personally cared about, it was a show I watched every week, was Death Battle. It's on YouTube. So they just came out with something recently. They don't have any firm updates, but they said Death Battle will return. They're in talks with somebody is going to buy them up, I guess, or they're starting their own thing. I don't know. Or they're merging with something. I love Death Battle. I've always loved Death Battle. They have tons of archives now if you go look them up on YouTube. They've got their own individual channel that's not on the Rooster Teeth channel. So you can go check that out. It's a very fun show. And if you want to learn more about a character like in depth, it got me to start watching certain shows because of that. It got me to watch Berserk. It got me to watch My Hero Academia. It's fun. And their biggest, most popular ones are probably the Superman versus Goku. There's 3 of them. It's different forms of Superman and Goku in all 3. So go check them out. So I will try to keep up to date on the Death Battle news, see what's coming with that. All right. So that's that. I'm not going to show because I'm trying to speed race through some of these. Next couple topics I wanted to talk about real quick. Umbrella Academy season 4 is dropping. Ben is the Horror, I think is his code name. He's the one with the he's got the tentacles that come out of him, whatever. He's Asian. He seems to be the key to it all, whatever, from the sounds of it. They're all manifesting different powers. They're finding out that's not where they belong. They're finding out there are different timelines all over the place. So, yeah. It looks cool. I love the Umbrella Academy. Sad to see it go, but they space out those seasons so much, and it's dragged on for so long. It's time. The Boy, number 8, I think. Let's see, Umbrella Academy, number 5, I think. Yeah, number 5. My bad. Number 5. It's been a while since I've seen the show, so forgive me. He doesn't have a name. He's just 5. The rest of them gave themselves names. He didn't because he just didn't. And then he didn't want to. And then he ended up disappearing through like a dimensional timeline for a long time. And yeah, by the time he came back, it was too late. But he's still a boy because going through the timelines like messed him up. He's really like, I think 60 or something like that, or in his 60s. But when he went back to where he started, it turned him back into a little boy. But he's an adult freaking man now. He's like, I think he's in his 20s. And he's still playing a little boy. So, yeah, it's like the Stranger Things kids. Wrap it up, man. But the new trailer looks cool. I'm excited. Hope you all are excited as well. I definitely want to talk with some people about it after it drops. And they as far as I remember, they stagger the releases so they don't drop it all at once so you can binge it. But I could be wrong. Either way, I'll be watching day uno. Also, I wanted to talk about, this doesn't require the whole article be brought up. A lot of people are wondering, are they going to recast Balon Skull, who was played by Ray Stevenson, for Ahsoka season 2? He was like one of the best characters from that series, not because he had I don't know, he had some depth to him because he's like a former Jedi that turned. He wasn't technically a Sith. He didn't qualify himself as a Sith, but he had the red lightsaber and he fought against the Jedi, so he's kind of a Sith. And he had some depth and some backstory to him, and Ray Stevenson's acting was so cool, and it brought depth to the character. And it's sad that he passed away at such a young age. I think he was 50, 57, 56, something like that. Way too young. But the character Balon Skull is still alive. He's like marooned on this planet with his protege chick. I can't remember. Fennec Shand. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I think Fennec Shand is the lady who played Mulan, that voiced Mulan. So I don't remember the blonde, his little protege. But they're marooned on this planet. So is Ahsoka and everybody she's with. So they got to figure out how to get the hell off and stop the blue guy. Look, forgive me. It's been a while since I watched. But yeah, they got to stop the blue guy with the red eyes from, effing stuff up back in their galaxy. So I don't know if they're wondering if Balon is going to get recast, if they're going to keep it going. I don't know who would be a good choice for that. Maybe somebody we don't know. Ray Stevenson was a big dude, but also a great actor. So you gotta it's a balancing act with who you would even cast. Or they could just kill him off screen. That's the only other thing I could think of, which would suck, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. When that kind of stuff happens, it sucks, but either way. Last couple things while we're still talking about Star Wars. Oops. I'll just touch on this real quick. It's just more hits keep on coming about this every single week. At Park Place, audience scores for The Acolyte disappears from Rotten Tomatoes main page for the show. More of this. Oh, review bombing. Gotta hide the mean words. The audience score for the Star Wars latest live-action show, The Acolyte, have disappeared or been removed from Rotten Tomatoes main page for the series. However, the audience score is still available on the show's first season page. When searching for The Acolyte on Rotten Tomatoes, people no longer see the audience score, as seen right there, but instead only the Tomato Meter score, which shows the critic score. The audience score is still available on the website. If you click on the show's first season page, it currently sits at an atrocious 14%. We'll look at that here in just a second, see if it's updated. It's unclear, and yeah, right there. They also have a picture of it just to show you. It's unclear why the show's audience score is not available when accessing the main page for The Acolyte. It also does not seem to be isolated to The Acolyte. Other Star Wars shows are also missing their audience scores, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, The Mandalorian, and Ahsoka. Interestingly, the Book of Boba Fett still has its audience score because everybody forgot about the Book of Boba Fett. It deleted back in 2019, Rotten Tomatoes deleted 50,000 audience reviews for other Disney property, Captain Marvel. Yeah, and they blamed it on whatever. The company added, "We have identified a bug in the post-release functionality for the movies that have released in theaters since our product update last week." Yada yada bullcrap. Excuse. It's because Disney gave them a buttload of money and said, make sure we don't get any negative reviews. Make sure that wink wink review bombing ain't going on, eh? Eh? Huh? Let's see what it's down. Yeah, it's still at 14%. Let's see, on the series page, is it going to show? Oh, they added it back. Look at that. I'm sure it was just a glitch, fellas. It was just a glitch. Hey, there's nothing nefarious going on here. Why would there be? Everybody hates this show, and Disney knows it. And you know what? Why would you think Rotten Tomatoes wasn't on the up and up? Why? That's strange. Why would you think that? That's weird. Rotten Tomatoes is never doing anything effed up. You can hide that score all you want, but people still just I refuse to even hate watch it. I've seen clips, I've read rundowns. That's enough. It's garbage. It's a garbage show, and I have so much other stuff I want to do with my life. Watching more garbage is not on that list of my priorities. Sorry, it's just not. Let's get to this really quickly. I only got a couple more stories before we get to the big finale. So we'll wrap this up here soon. The Boys. Star wants season 5 to set up a franchise-ending movie. We're only on season 4, by the way, just to let you know. I did a video on that the other day. Or I talked about it yesterday, rather, and I'm going to post a video tomorrow with that part clipped out. So, but The Boys TV series ends with season 5. That much showrunner Eric Kripke and Prime Video have confirmed. Yeah, I don't see how you can keep it going much longer. Like I said, they've already jumped the shark. They would really have to do something with season 5 to reinvigorate passion, reinvigorate just get their creative juices flowing. Like, there are still, I'm not going to say it all sucks. There are still some interesting parts of the show, but it just feel like they're leaning too hard into everybody's a deviant, black and white, heavy-handed, ham-fisted sociopolitical issues, lots and lots and lots of gore, and just like the story's minimal around all that. They've got to, hopefully they'll lean more deeply into the actual story elements and the I don't know, the reveals of certain things going into season 5. There's plenty of setup. There's also the issue of if anybody watched Gen V, which was the spin-off series. I mean, part of that is already playing into season 4, but where all is that going to go? One of the main characters from that show actually passed away a little while ago, so that was sad. But either way, the Boys TV series. That's what Laz Alonso, who plays the Boys team leader Mother's Milk, wants, although his attempts to convince Kripke to make it happen appear to have failed so far. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that last line, but that he wants a franchise ending The Boys movie. Speaking on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, Alonso said he's unsuccessfully pitching The Boys film to wrap up the series. Quote, make the last episode of season 5 a cliffhanger and announce the film that we've been filming since the beginning of the series, Alonso said. But Kripke also somehow gets out of that one. I'm down, Homelander actor Anthony Starr responded. Anthony Starr, excuse me. It's fun to imagine what the Boys movie might look like. Perhaps it would involve an Avengers-style superhero and supervillain battle with the Boys themselves caught in the middle. Or perhaps it would be more understated, instead focusing on what happens to the world and the characters following the events of The Boys Season 5. For a show that revolves around parodying real-life events, including the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a mega team-up might perhaps be off the cards. After all, The Boys has its own Avengers movie with the show Dawn of the Seven. Kripke announced season 5 would be the last for The Boys last month, ahead of the start of season 4. Quote, always my plan. I just had to be cagey till I got the final okay from Vought, Kripke said at the time. I think he means from Amazon, but yeah. The Boys has inspired 2 spin-offs, animated series The Boys Presents Diabolical, as well as Gen V, which has been renewed for season 2. Yeah, there you go. I did see that Diabolical. I haven't watched it yet, though, so I don't know if it's any good. It seems decent. But yeah, I don't know. They got to figure out how to... Like, I know the whole show basically revolves around how do we beat Homelander now that he has his son. You know, what is he going to do? Is he going to be the one to beat Homelander? And if so, how? Is he going to be good or bad? Are we going to off the son too? Yeah, so I don't know. There needs to be more of a focus on that, and I know that's kind of where they're going. But man, it's just like some of the ham-handed political, like, this BS. Like they've always like parodied political stuff before, but now it's just like, and they're just getting like uber gross with everything. Everything is just over the top, disgusting. I don't know why it has to be that way. It's just the way Eric Kripke's gross mind works, I guess. But yeah. The other thing I was thinking of with that is I lost it. I don't know. My mind's all over the place. I don't know. Homelander's got a decent setup to something happening. Like they're still keeping him fairly strong. They've revealed more about his backstory. I really don't know. Oh, I remember the comics. Spoiler for anybody that hasn't read the comics. It's not going to end this way, but this is how it happened here, and I'll tell you why. If anybody's watched the show, you know why this can't happen. Black Noir gets revealed at the end of the comics to be a clone of Homelander, and he's just never said anything, and he doesn't use the same exact powers as Homelander, so he's able to be like undercover kind of, and he offs Homelander at the end of the comics, and then so that's how that happens. Past that, I don't remember what else, but it's a big blow up. This one, I'm not gonna pull up the. I'll pull up the article just really quickly, go over it here. Might make a short out of it later. So Paramount and Skydance Media confirms merger plans with 2025 target date. The 2 media giants will join to form new Paramount. Paramount Global and Skydance Media are merging, as announced during the turn to midnight on July 7th. Paramount and Skydance have reached a definitive agreement to form New Paramount, a conglomerate that aims to stabilize and strengthen Paramount as a world-class next-generation leader in media and technology, and is described as a creative-driven destination for storytellers dedicated to delivering top-quality content. Okay. Paramount and Skydance's merger is an all-stock transaction, one which values Skydance at $4.75 billion. The 2 media giants aim to complete the transaction in the first half of 2025. Goes on with their statements, yada, yada, yada. So they hosted an investor call at 8:30 a.m. on July 8th. I don't know what this means. I don't really know what the hell Skydance is. Like, what all they do. I mean, like right here, Skydance Animation signs new deal with Netflix. Skydance acquires Chris Pratt movie Way of the Warrior Kid. Yeah, I really don't know much about if anybody out there can tell me, does this matter? Skydance Media, have they done anything that freaking normies would recognize right out the gate? If not, I don't know, is this too big ass companies? Is Paramount buying up more stuff? And I guess they're merging, whatever, but still. Didn't mean to hit the mic there, my bad. Okay. Before we hit the finale, I just want to remind you, if you're watching on YouTube, please follow or subscribe, rather, and click that notification bell. If you want to follow on YouTube, it's youtube.com/@MarksOnMedia. If you are watching on Rumble, please remember to follow along and subscribe and all that good stuff, and click the Rumble button down below this video, and keep coming back for more. Stay notified. If you want to follow on Rumble, it's rumble.com/C/MarksOnMedia. If you want to follow me on X or Instagram, it's @Marks_on_media. Marks on Media was already taken, so I went with the one with underscores. So remember, it's @Marks on Media, but each word has an underscore between it. We are on Kick and Locals. If you want to join there and follow me, follow along. I just search for Marks on Media. I know my Locals. Let me see if I can find the exact locals.com/marksonmedia/feed. For Kick, it's kick.com/marksonmedia. So if you could follow along on there, that would be great. And if you join Locals and give me, or if you join as a member, like a super member or whatever on YouTube, you will give me a reason to make some exclusive content behind the paywall. And so if you give me money, I will give you extra added value for it. I will take suggestions on what you want to see from me. If you want to interact more, if you want some watch-alongs, whatever, be it to wrestling or TV shows, or if you want me to review certain things, talk about other certain things. Just join. Let me know what you want to see. And I will take it under advisement. I am a man of the people. All right, grand finale here. It's a big one. I haven't talked about Disney World in a while, so here we go. 3 stories from that park place about the same deal. Walt Disney World deserted for 4th of July celebrations. Couldn't happen to a better company, right? For decades, Walt Disney World has been a premier location for Americans from all 50 states to celebrate the nation's founding on the 4th of July. It's known to Disney veterans as one of the busiest days of the year, with shoulder-to-shoulder traffic crowding the entirety of Main Street, USA. But the times they are a-changin', as the saying goes. In past years, the Magic Kingdom and Epcot were hop spots for patriotic celebrations, with both parks often hitting maximum capacity and wait times for even mid-tier attractions hitting 3, sometimes even 4 hours. Eat a tool, I'll say. Like, hell no. Lick a butt. Not doing that, man. Let's see. The parks would be decked out in red, white, and blue, a true picture of American patriotism that would have made company founder Walt Disney swell with pride. The 360-degree firework spectacular was an attraction in and of itself, filling the sky with celebratory explosions in excess of 13 minutes. Just 13 minutes? All right. But 4th of July 2024 was a far different experience. The parks were downright empty, seeing less of a surge and more of a sprinkle of humanity meandering around a sparsely decorated Main Street for a fireworks show that was just a little over 7 minutes in length. Wow. Now you're really skimping, man. That's like 2 songs You can play 2 songs for that celebration, that fireworks show. God. Same-day park reservations were available for all 4 parks, sometimes utterly unheard of in recent years, and wait times for attractions all across Walt Disney World were actually lower than a typical summer non-holiday from years past. At 3 p.m. on July 4th, several big-ticket rides throughout Walt Disney World had no wait at all. This includes Kilimanjaro's safaris in Disney's Animal Kingdom and Star Tours. The adventures continue in Disney's Hollywood Studios. Expedition Everest had a 15-minute wait time, and Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, arguably Disney's most popular standby queue attraction, only had a 45-minute wait. Its close neighbor Slinky Dog Dash clocked in at just 50 minutes. And right here you can see 5 minutes to meet Olaf. God. But the hotbed of Independence Day activity in Walt Disney World has always centered around Magic Kingdom and Epcot. Peter Pan's Flight in Fantasyland, an attraction that often sees wait times in excess of 70 minutes on a normal day, was only 50 minutes at 3 p.m. for the July 4th holiday. Space Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad saw a sparse 40 to 45 minutes, respectively. Even Seven Dwarf Mine Train, typically the longest standby wait in the park, was only sitting at an hour wait. There you go. Some representation of that. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Other Disney staples like the Haunted Mansion and its Small World were downright easy to get on with 35-minute waits. Over in Epcot, Frozen Ever After clocked in at just under an hour with a 15-minute wait. The longest wait in all of Disney World came from Remy's Ratatouille Adventure at 90 minutes. What the frick? Why? That's crazy. I will tell you now, that Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith, that's actually really fun. I've ridden on that like 3 times. When we went back in 2016, me and my wife, for our honeymoon, we could not even get on the Frozen ride. It had like a nearly 4-hour wait. We were like, F that. And there were no fast passes. It was like, nope. They were sold out like weeks in advance. The sparse attendance was noted by YouTube influencer and frequent That Park Place contributor La Rienne Creole, who went to the Magic Kingdom on both the 3rd and 4th and was shocked by the low crowds and wait times. Yeah. They're commenting on it, saying the same thing we already know. La Rienne described this year's Walt Disney World 4th of July as being less patriotic and definitely less people. She noted how Magic Kingdom used to be all decked out in red, white, and blue decor, with the citizens of Main Street, a classic park original character group that was sadly removed from the parks some time ago, wearing patriotic garb. This year, there was some bunting at the front of the park and the Main Street Emporium, but that was it. The Dapper Dans were also decked out in some special Independence Day gear. Yes, they didn't go all out with it. Summertime crowds have been sparse all season, despite Disney opening a new attraction, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, just a week ago in the Magic Kingdom. Disney also recently completed its renovation and reimagining of Epcot with the opening of Communicore Hall. However, it seems as though neither of these experiences have had enough to drive people in through the front gates during what's supposed to be one of the busiest times of the days of the year. Yeah, Disney's just failing, and their answer is always crank up the ticket prices. I'm really hoping to go like soon, and my wife has been bugging me since we went in 2016. It's been 8 years. She's been bugging me to go back. We haven't had the money. And the thing is, they keep cranking up the ticket prices. So if I couldn't afford it a year ago, I definitely can't afford it now. Why do you think people aren't going? Maybe if you lowered the prices, like, yeah, there is some backlash to Disney for sure. And that's causing a lot of people to stay away from them, the company, everything. But, and that's showing at the box office too, obviously, with a bunch of movies tanking. But on top of that, though, you have these ticket prices just constantly going up, up, up in one of the worst economies in a long time. People can't afford this stuff, especially if you have more than one child. I can barely afford it for just my wife and I. I couldn't afford it with kids right now. There's no damn way. Who the hell can afford that? The only people I know of that can afford that is like both parents are working really good jobs, making really good money. And they have no debt, everything's paid off, and they can afford to go to Disney as a luxury. That's not most of the country. All right, that's not most of the world. But they keep it up, and they keep raising the prices, and they're not learning a lesson. So I don't know. Really quickly, I want to touch on 2 more articles about the same deal here. Walt Disney World announces good to go pass holder days for July amid low park attendance. This one spoke. What's going on about that? Summer vacation month. Surge in attendance often leads to park reservations running low and wait times soaring, as well as 100 minutes for some of the most popular attractions. However, that seems to be changing, seemingly in response to lower than normal crowd levels this summer. Disney has released several good-to-go days for Disney annual pass holders. These are days in which pass holders won't need a park reservation to enter any of Disney's 4 theme parks. In addition to vacationers, Walt Disney World also hosts a large number of annual pass holders regularly. This pass holder crowd is composed of Florida locals and Disney fanatics from outside the state who take frequent vacations to the Orlando resort. However, over the years, Disney has made the pecking order clear. It values out-of-town resort guests far more than annual pass holders. While at one time, Disney rolled out extravagant gifts for pass holders like wooden cutting boards and tumbler glasses, today's Disney pass holders are lucky to walk away with a flimsy coaster set from special events. This is particularly true during busier times like the summer months. And then they announced their good-to-go dates. Some of these have already passed. They got the 13th, 14th, 16th, 21st, 28th, and 29th. That's a lot. Let's see. The last good to go pass holder days took place in May, with many expecting not to see them again until slower days in September. But there you go. I told you about the collapse of their attendance. Like that's just devastating. Last year, they said something about that, and they blamed it on the weather. Oh, it's really hot. It's so hot in July. It's always hot in July in Florida. It's Florida, July. Like, what the? That's not an excuse. It's always hot in July in Florida. That hasn't changed since you built the damn park. Lastly, here, just to wrap it up, because I thought this was funny. I just talked about this ride. The media blames the failure of Tiana's Bayou Adventure on Christians. Ooh, those damn Christians. With Tiana's Bayou Adventure failing to delight the majority of Disney fans and really failing to even function at all during the long stretches of just about every day since officially opening to the public, many have been left wondering what went wrong. It replaced Splash Mountain, if you didn't know. Well, the Hill's Mary Pinsky thinks she knows the answer. Is it the fact that the attraction doesn't work? Is it the racist undertones in the Hey Baby? In the happy-go-lucky depictions of the Avery Island salt mines and its history of abuse and slave labor? Is it the lackluster music or the fact that an attraction teeming with more than 70 animatronic critters have been turning into an experience with less than 50, in reality less than 20 actually, animatronics? Nope, it's Christians, specifically white Christians, of course. Them damn white Christians, they ruin everything. Why won't you ride this ride? In the article titled Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the racial and religious politics of Disney's new theme park ride. Give me a break. Pinsky praised Disney's decision to replace Splash Mountain, an attraction based on a film that he, a very, very white man, claims is deeply offensive to many African Americans. No, it's not. Nobody cares. Just you crying from behind your keyboard. He then goes on to say that Song of the South presents an idealized, historically inaccurate portrayal of African Americans in the region before and after the Civil War. Oh God, blah 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 blah. Where let's see. I need to see. While it's the first Disney theme park ride based on an African American character, it may also represent a retrospective effort to sanitize The Princess and the Frog. Yes, you read that right. We're sanitizing The Princess and the Frog. How, you might ask? Well, let's ask Mark. Not content with erasing racism from its theme parks, Disney has apparently sought to use its magic to make the film's positive but controversial rendering of voodoo in The Princess and the Frog disappear, Pinsky said. Literally out of sight in typical Disney fashion, the company has virtually eliminated the film's voodoo portrayal, which offended some evangelical Christian theatergoers. In fact, the dark voodoo depictions central in the plot of The Princess and the Frog appears almost nowhere in the 10-minute ride. Yeah. I was told about this before by people that went there. They said the ride is basically a sequel to the movie, kind of. It's not the film itself. So the voodoo guy, if I can't remember his character's name, if anybody watched the movie, was like dragged off to hell at the end of the film. So he's not there anymore. There's no other villain. This is like what happens after. Okay? It's like the happily ever after that you're getting to see, basically, from what I've been told by people that have went there. It's not the fault of white men and Christians. You know, there are more Christians than just white people, right? It's like if it's not the most popular religion in the world, it's the second most. Meaning it's not just the whites, all right? And I'm saying, oh, you didn't get enough voodoo in the ride? My God, that would change everything. You know, if they added more voodoo to this Princess and the Frog ride, more people might give a damn. Not the fact that it keeps breaking down, not the fact that they replaced a ride that a lot of people loved because of racism. No, it's because less voodoo. Damn white people, damn Christians. How dare you have an opinion on anything? Go F yourself. Well, Disney's paying the price. Not necessarily. I don't have a problem with this ride. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't offend me in any way, shape, or form. Whatever. I'm a little peeved that they replaced the historic Splash Mountain with it. But, you know, whatever. Things get replaced. Things get changed. Whatever. It is what it is. I like the representation of Tiana at the park. I've stated that before. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But, you know, everything has to be about race and religion with these freaks. So, of course, it's the white people's fault. It's probably the white Christians' fault that nobody's going to the damn park either this summer. So, whatever. Rip bozos. Screw you, Disney. You're going down. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. I know it was a way longer stream than I thought it was going to be. I did not want to go almost 3 hours, but it is what it is. I'm going to chop up a lot of this and make long-form content out of it and some shorts too. But thank you all for being with me here today. I hope you all stuck around. I hope you all liked what you heard, like what you saw. And go check out some of the articles yourselves and maybe send me some stuff you want me to talk about here. But anyway, just a final call here. If you want to follow me on YouTube or subscribe to me, please do. It's youtube.com/@MarksOnMedia. On Rumble, it's rumble.com/C/MarksOnMedia. You can follow me there. Make sure you get notified whenever I go live or post brand new videos, which I try to do multiple times a week on Rumble, every single day on YouTube, because I post shorts and stuff. So there's always some kind of content. If you want to follow me on X or Instagram, it's @marks_on_media. And you can check me out on Locals. It is, one more time, Locals, Let me see. Locals.com/marksonmedia/feed. On Kick, it's kick.com/marksonmedia. I go live on all those platforms, but my videos on demand you can see anytime or on Rumble and YouTube all the time. And I'm very active on X, pretty active on Instagram. I definitely reply to anybody who wants to talk to me, any commenters and all that. But I thank you for joining me today. It's been a long one. I had fun. Hope you did too. We will see you all next week.